Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Purely Platonic Podcast. Woohoo!
I am so proud of us.
Me too. This is, from like a real-time perspective, the first episode that we have recorded, like, since we released the first episode.
Yeah.
And it's mental. It's so cool.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much for the
you.
support
Seriously,
so far.
like, it's amazing. Like, seeing all your comments and, like, all of that kind of stuff. Like, it's really nice.
Talking of
that
comments.
people actually want to listen to us waffle on about nothing.
Literally, yeah,
'Cause
literally.
We are just chatting away, you know. But yeah, it really means a lot. Thank you so much.
Talking of comments,
oh,
sorry.
go on.
User LL5CN1LH6V
Oh, I know.
has
them well.
commented. I don't think this thing is platonic.
Oh, fuff. We knew it would happen. We knew it would happen. This is the reason why we chose this name, because we knew it would happen.
The irony is lost on
Oh
some.
my God.
Welcome back to another episode. And
I
today
had
we have
not
no
seen
plan,
that.
by the
I
way,
had
for this
not
one.
seen that comment. Which episode was that on?
The first one. Yeah.
Oh my God, where we literally talk about the name. Right,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
Anyway,
Yeah.
well, I'm very sorry, L_1324601.
User for short.
User. You're wrong. Cheers. Anyway, carry on.
I was just going to say, we have no plan for this
No,
episode.
you don't. There's no plan.
Because we've not seen each other in over a month.
Yep.
Like, literally a long time. We've not seen each other throughout the whole of December.
No. Well, I've not been home for the whole of December. I was off doing pantomime, so I wasn't living up north. I was off on my travels.
You were down south.
I was down south. Well, Midlands. Midlands, darling.
The thing is, so it was in Stratford-upon-Avon, right? Wasn't it? Near Stratford.
Yeah, near Stratford. It was Cotswolds.
Oh, right. Oh, okay, that's more south then. Because in my head, Stratford-upon-Avon is south. Because it feels south. You know what I mean? When you're there, it's like, geographically, it's Midlands.
Yes, it's definitely Midlands.
But it feels like the south when you're there.
See, I don't
The
think
vibe,
it
the
does.
accents you hear are very... Like, there's
Yeah,
the Royal
it's
Shakespeare... It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
I
got
think
a
it's
south
possibly,
vibe to
this
it.
is going to sound really whatever. I think it's because it's quite a wealthy area, or can be perceived as quite a wealthy area.
Oh, we're diving into the north-south divide
No,
politics.
oh, I don't mean to. But I think that's why you typically get
I understand
people
what you
who
mean, yeah.
are more posh,
Yeah.
for lack of a better description. That's not a bad thing. They're just more posh than we are.
It's a lovely place.
Oh,
really,
it's-
really
I
lovely
love it
place.
there. I absolutely love it there.
There are so many Stratfords, though. You can't just say Stratford. There's like Stratford in London, Stratford somewhere,
Yeah.
Stratford-upon-Avon. It's like,
Literally.
call your places different things. Call your places... Also, the River Avon,
Yeah.
Avon means river. It's called the River. What is that about?
The river.
You know, the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
Sahara means desert.
So it's the
The
desert.
desert. It's like...
Oh, I never knew that
Yeah,
information.
yeah.
Oh, you learn something new.
I know.
every
Welcome
day.
to our factual podcast. Anyway, what the hell? Why are we talking about
I
that?
don't
That is the
know.
most boring thing. What was pantomime like?
It was amazing. It was really, really good. We were in Chipping Camden, a little Cotswold village. It was really cute, you know. We were back for a second year, so we went there last year. We were back this year.
I went last year.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't go this year.
It's all right. It's in the middle of nowhere, and you don't drive, so it's
Well,
really hard.
the
I
first time you
completely
did it
understood.
last year,
Yeah.
it was Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
You played Belle, Beauty,
I did.
and I went to see it as a good friend. I had no idea where this theatre was,
No.
and so I was in Stratford-upon-Avon. I got the train to Stratford-upon-Avon.
Yeah.
I then thought very stupidly, I'll just Uber to the theatre because I am a Manchester man. I live in a city, and I have just I'm so embarrassed by myself that I just assumed, oh yeah, I'll just get an Uber. Uber was like scanning, nothing. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. Maybe there's like a train station nearer, and I've just misjudged. So I went on the train app. 3 hours to get to this theatre, it was. Because you had to basically get the train into Birmingham and then out to somewhere else. It was like, oh my God. So what am I going to do? I'm like Googling bus timetables. Nothing was coming up on Google Maps. I got this most local bus you can imagine through the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
and then just got dropped off in the pitch black because it's obviously December, winter.
Yeah.
I have no idea where I am, just walking down this country lane that Google Maps is like, yeah, it's down here. I get there covered in mud because obviously it's like knee deep in mud almost. I get there, I'm filthy, and everyone's dressed really nicely for the theatre because they've all driven. I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? And it was the opening of this theatre as well. It was the first performance in
Oh
this
my
theatre.
God, were you opening night?
I was opening night. And so they gave a little speech like, welcome to the brand new theatre. And there I am,
did not
drenched in
know
mud and
that.
rain, having been on the bus for an hour and a half, thinking, what is going on? Why am I here? Anyway, the show was very nice, 5 stars.
Thank you, thank you.
How was it this year?
It was good. It was really good. It was stressful. We did Jack and the Beanstalk this year. So obviously you've got the Beanstalk, and from a set perspective, that was just a
I
nightmare.
see, I
Like
see.
it was hard.
Yeah, how do they do that?
We just had like a massive, like wooden beanstalk with like footholes in it. So, Welsh John, who we talked about a few episodes
Welsh
back.
John, I tell you what, he's a recurring
He's
character
a
at this
recurring
point.
character. He played Jack, and he had to climb this beanstalk.
I see.
And then at the very end, we had a cloth version of it. I don't know what this is. Cloth version.
Cloth
Whoa.
version. That's like sign language for cloth beanstalk. That was actually my nickname in high school, cloth beanstalk. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, we had a cloth version of it where it was like hung from the top of the theatre, so that when Jack was chopping it down, I'm chopping down the beanstalk.
Oh, I see it.
You could just
tumbled.
let go and it fell.
Yeah, Jack and the Beanstalk is one that I don't really know the plot of. Is this where he sells his cow for beans?
It's pantomime, so plot doesn't really exist.
That's
but
true. That's
yeah,
true. In
so
fact, I remember
it's-
talking to the director person of the last one
Yeah.
about like pantomime, and
Yeah.
he said like the plot is basically like you can do it in 10 minutes if you wanted to.
Oh, 100%.
But you just like fill it with
Massively.
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all about filling it out.
Yeah,
padding it
no
out with
content, just filler, just like this podcast. By the way, make sure to give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. That would really help
Woo!
us.
It would really help. Yeah, 100%. So the plot is basically Jack and his mum and his brother are really poor. The giant is like in charge of the town, but he has a handyman. Handyman.
I don't remember this.
Henchman.
Handyman, he just
Handyman.
does his boiler.
A henchman called Flesh Creep, who is like
Good
putting
name.
up the taxes and blah 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 blah. Anyway, they can't afford to stay in their house, so they have to sell their cow Daisy, and then Flesh Creep, the henchman, tricks Jack into selling the cow for a bag of beans. The mum, which is the dame, then
Right.
throws the beans out of the window, and a beanstalk grows with help from the fairy, and then he climbs the beanstalk.
Is this
steals
your
some golden eggs.
pantomimed version? Or is this like the official
Oh no,
plot?
this is the pantomime.
Oh, I was going to say, some of this I don't remember being a thing. I don't remember the henchman, basically.
Oh yeah,
Is that
no,
added? For the,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember the fairy either. Is that added?
Yeah, henchman and fairy are definitely
see,
added for
I see.
pantomime purposes. Yeah, then he steals some golden eggs, chops the beanstalk down, kills the giant, marries the princess. Woo!
All done and dusted.
Yeah.
Is a pantomime a global thing? Or is... I have this feeling that like
No.
pantomimes are just like
It's
a
a very
British
British
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
It's very
like,
British.
Some of the American listeners might not even know what a pantomime is. I've just realised.
Yeah, it's a very British
It's
thing.
like a Christmas tradition in the UK, really.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. And some pantomimes stay more within the traditional pantomime rules. So like the pantomimes that the theatre company that I have been working with, they do really traditional pantomimes. The guy who directs it is like obsessed with traditional pantomime. Like he taught me when I was at drama school about traditional pantomime. We literally had pantomime
It is such like
lessons.
its own art form, isn't it? It's so
Yeah.
There's such a structure to it.
Oh,
yeah.
100%. And it's difficult. It's hard as an actor. You know, it goes against everything you learn about being an actor and just flips it on its head. But it's fun. It's exhausting.
When
but it's
I
really fun.
When I went to see Beauty and the Beast,
yeah.
I was surprised at, like, obviously I've not been to a pantomime since I was a kid. So going again as an adult, just on my own, because I was just there to see you, basically, and just, like, support you in the crowd. I got a mention, didn't I, in the pantomime?
Yeah.
You said me on stage, and I was like, oh, no, I had to, like, participate at one point and, like, shout. What did I shout out again? Like, Yoo-hoo or something?
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
When you came to see it, was ooh la la, yeah.
That is, like, my nightmare, socially. And you knew it as well. You knew I'd hate that.
I do it to everybody who comes to see me in pantomime this year.
Because they took a scroll out and they were like, if we read your name, shout out ooh la la. And I was thinking, I'm on this list. I know I'm on this list because Abby will have put me on there. And yeah, like a few down the list, Cavan. And I have to go, ooh la la, in a big, like, packed theatre, opening night.
Yeah.
Horrible. But your parents had to do it as well, so I felt a bit better.
Everyone had to do it. This is the thing. And this year, my boyfriend came to see the pantomime. And we had a chase sequence this year, right? So we were running away from Flesh Creep after we'd, climbed down the beanstalk or whatever. So we went out into the audience and we had to go, like, through the seating to, like, get away. So it was really, like, audience interaction. Interactiony, you know what I mean? Anyway. Interactive, there you go, thank you. And I had told my boyfriend that he needed to sit on the aisle seat so that I could see him during the chase, so that I could try and go down the aisle that him and his mum were on. And he listened, good boy. So at the beginning, for the opening number, I was there singing and dancing. I spotted him. I was like, okay, cool. And I literally walked off stage, walked up to the dame, who also knows my boyfriend.
Right.
From, like, the past, TM. Sorry.
TM?
Is it, like, trademark?
Why are you trademarking the past?
I always do that. Anyway, sorry, ignore me. So stupid.
TM?
Yeah, I want to go back. That was so shit.
No, just carry on.
Oh, okay. So he already knows my boyfriend from the past.
TM. Carry on.
And I just walked up to him, the dame, and went, he's in the aisle, right-hand side. Have fun. And walked off.
Oh no! I feel for him.
And so when he was choosing, or when Dame Dotty Trot was choosing her boyfriend for the show.
Oh no!
She beeline.
No.
It was amazing. I've got it on
What
video.
did he have to do?
So it was just like, oh, hello, what's your name? It was all that. And he said whatever. And then it was, and what do you do? He said dentist because he thought he was being funny.
He is not a dentist,
he's
just
not
for
a
context.
dentist at all. And he was like, what can I say? Because I spoke to him after and I was like, why did you say dentist? He was like, I wanted it to
sounds like
be
something
like,
I would do.
it is something that you would do, 100%. And
Just lie.
yeah. And he was like, I wanted to see if he would make it funny. Like, I tried to think of the least funny profession and see if he could make it funny. And he did immediately. He said, I'm a dentist. Ooh. He went, oh, I bet you can give me a filling anytime.
Oh, brilliant.
Boom.
Brilliant.
Straight away. Bish, bosh, bosh,
That's the sort of quick wit I love.
Yeah.
That's great.
But it got to the point where, like, people backstage would be like, oh, I thought that he'd chosen your fella, but you said he was a dentist. I'm like, no, it is. He's not a dentist. And so when
he's a compulsive liar.
Yeah, when we went out, because we do like a meet and greet thing at the end where we say hello to everyone who's come to watch it and like take photos with the kids and stuff, which is really lovely. But he came out and everyone went, oh, it's the dentist.
He's forever known as the dentist.
The dentist, yeah.
Wow.
But it was good. It was fun. I had more of a role this year, as in like I was the musical director as well as an actor in it.
The MD.
The MD.
I always think that's such like a cool.
Ooh.
Yo, I'm the MD.
Yeah.
For the show.
You're so strange.
I don't know. It just sounds like a really cool title.
It was a cool title, and I had loads of fun. And there were 2 pantos this year, so I was MDing for both of them. One in Stratford, one in Chipping Campden, and then I was in the one in Chipping Campden as well.
Nice.
So it was a very busy time. I was in all day, every day, doing, the cast would rehearse in the morning with one cast, and then the next cast would rehearse in the afternoon, and I would just stay through. And
Oh God,
you know,
yeah.
I don't think I missed one rehearsal. I was there the whole time, and I loved it. It was amazing.
I feel like for what we do, December is a busy month.
Oh, it's mental.
Like December was that's the reason we've not seen each other. We've literally
Literally.
just been too
Yeah,
busy.
yeah,
Like,
too busy.
I've been doing gigs, you know, every evening and weekend throughout December and stuff, as well as a full-time job. So it's just like there was no time.
It's crazy, crazy. But
we love
it's
it.
and it's quite nice. Like for me, when I graduated, I was like, okay, if I don't get any work now, it's fine because I know I've got Panto at Christmas. It was like a kind of security blanket of, okay, it doesn't matter that I've not got that audition, or it doesn't matter I've not got that job. It's fine. I've got Panto. Like, I know I'm going to be acting by the end of this year in something.
Panto scene is so important for
oh my God, it's so
actors.
important. So important.
Because like every theatre in the country basically has a
Oh, yeah.
panto on. So
Yeah.
actors are just like, employment, here
Literally,
you go.
literally.
The employment giant comes around and spreads his I was gonna say spreads his seeds. That's not what I meant.
Right out loud.
Spreads the I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah,
That's
good idea.
the metaphor failed
The
me.
metaphor has not worked. But yeah, it was really fun, and there were.
Sorry,
You're such
I'm
a
just replaying what I said. Carry on.
Spreading his seeds. Good lord. The beauty I find the beauty of Panto though is that, like, from an acting point of view, if stuff goes wrong, you just take the piss out of it, and everyone
adds
loves
to
it
it.
even more.
Yeah.
Like, there was one point, just anecdote moment. There was one point where we were doing
TM.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
You're so mean to me. You're so mean. Gonna go cry now. There was a moment. Sorry, I'm just grabbing my coffee. There was a moment where we were doing our duet. Me and Welsh John back again. We're doing our
That's
duet.
a Welsh John tally.
Welsh John tally.
Regular viewers. On our 100th episode, we're going to get him on as a guest.
Yeah.
Are we
Welsh
still
John.
recording?
Yes.
Good.
It's all okay.
Carry on.
So me and Welsh John were doing our duet. We were doing "Can't Fight This Feeling" as our song. It was fab, and the smoke machine, for some reason, just took on a life of its own and was just pumping out smoke.
Oh no!
To
I
the
thought
point-
you meant it broke and did. That's
no,
worse.
To the point where, like, we were literally on stage closer than me and Cavan are now, and we could not see each other. We couldn't see the audience, and so obviously the beginning lyrics are and even as I won, you make everything so clear. And so he went, you make everything so clear. And he's going, even as I wonder, I'm keeping you in sight. Like, he's really taking the piss.
Wow, that's so
And then
good,
my
though.
line was, you're a candle in the window on a cold, dark winter's night. So I just said, you're a candle in the window on a really foggy night.
Brilliant.
So we just absolutely took the piss with it.
Love that.
And it's rare that the princess, because I played the princess, it's rare the princess can do that. Normally the princess needs to be straight the whole way through, not really straying or trying to be funny. So when I did that, I was a bit like, oh, I don't know if that worked. But we spoke to our director afterwards, and he loved it.
I
He
think
was
that's
really
brilliant.
impressed.
I think that's so quick.
Because we were like, it's to the
come up
point
with
where
that.
we
and
can't
sing it as well.
that's
Improv
the thing.
singing, like making it work with the tune, and that's
It's
that
the point.
takes some
It got
doing. Yeah,
so bad. It was like to the point where we couldn't
you
not
can't ignore
mention
it.
it.
Yeah. Well, when I went to see Adult Panto, which was a couple of years ago now,
Oh Lord!
this was the Christmas before
Lord.
the new theatre one. That is like
the worst experience of my life.
the way it works is basically Panto, but no kids are allowed in the audience. So it's very much like
all
a
18
parody
plus.
of the genre of pantomime. Everything is like innuendos,
Yeah.
very like offensive and rude, but very funny.
And most of the time, the audience are absolutely hammered.
Yes,
so they love
yeah.
it. They love it. It's a big. The theatre company that I work for always do it. Not with the one that we did in Chipping Camden. We've never done it there. But in Stratford, they always do adult panto, and people love it. It sells out like that.
Yeah.
It's mental.
It was really good vibes. Really good vibes.
Yeah.
But all I was going to say was,
Go on.
your character in the adult panto
Yeah.
was just taken directly from a normal panto. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
you thought it was a normal panto.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
like the vibe it was. It was like you as... That was Beauty and the Beast
Yeah,
as well,
yeah,
wasn't
Beauty and
it?
the Beast, yeah.
So you were Belle in Beauty and the Beast there, but it was like you were just totally playing it straight and
You
just
have to.
reacting to
Yeah.
things that were happening. And you said afterwards there were some things that happened that you genuinely didn't know what
Oh
was
my
going to
goodness,
happen.
no, not at all. There was
So
a point
that's
where
so good.
me and a guy called Andy, who I just adore. He's one of my favourite human beings in the whole wide world. He, Andy Tally. He was my show dad. So he played my dad in the show. Hence, show dad. Oh my god.
TM.
Okay. Why am I over-explaining
brain
everything today?
broken?
I actually think it might be. I feel like my brain is broken. You know when you sat there going, what are you talking about?
Words.
I don't think I'm
out
even
of
making
brain.
any kind of sense. Like, what the fuck is going on?
He was your show dad.
He was
As
my-
in your dad in the show.
Stop being nasty. He was my dad in the show, and he had an invention scene. So in the normal pantomime, he would be like explaining inventions, and so it would be like,
Stuff that already existed, I guess.
yeah, your light beam emittinator, and he pulled out a flashlight.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
that kind of thing. There was a one point where we added in an invisibility machine, and he was like, "What? Where did I put it?" And
Good,
we all are looking for the
good.
invisibility machine. It's that kind of thing. Anyway, adult panto. He had told me that he was changing the inventions, but would not tell me what they were. And he'd made these like cards, which were acronyms. So I can't remember what they were, but one of the items was condoms. And so he put condoms on my fingers. And obviously I'm princessing at this point, and I'm like, oh wow, oh they're beautiful. And the audience loved it, but I had no idea what was coming, and it was just like,
That
oh,
must be so scary, especially when, like you say, it breaks what you're used to with acting. You're meant to know exactly what's coming with acting.
Oh, yeah.
Every beat, every line
Yeah.
is rehearsed down to the finest detail.
100%.
But like, yeah, going to something like that, it's like completely different. Like improv comedy, it's like just so different.
Yeah. And with
think it's
panto,
great, though.
when you get comfy with it, even the normal panto, not just adult panto, when you get comfy with it, the goal is to piss around and to make other people laugh.
Yeah.
This year was probably the worst it's got. There was a scene where the henchman had his song, so Flesh Creep had a song, but I was like tied up in inverted commas at the back. So I was on stage for the whole of this song, but not doing anything. And everyone backstage was just trying to make me laugh. So I would be sat there.
Well, the audience couldn't see, I'm guessing.
Oh no, they could see me.
Oh yeah,
I
they
was
couldn't
very
see
much
the
in,
people
but they
making you
couldn't
laugh.
see the
Right,
people.
they were in the wings. Whatever.
So I'm stood there, obviously trying to act scared, and I turn around and see everyone messing around in very
compromising positions.
Yeah. But then it was like a war.
Yeah.
So it
of,
was,
like,
oh,
who
okay,
can-
you've
who
made
can
me laugh in
outdo
this
each other.
scene.
I
I'll
get
make you laugh
I
next
get
time.
you. How many shows did you do in the end of Panto? It's a lot, right?
30?
Wow. Do you not get sick of it? That's what I think when
Um,
actors do, because like with films, obviously you do multiple takes, but then you're on to the next thing, and it's like, it's
Yeah.
different. I don't know, you know.
I think we were doing 2 shows a day every single day, with a couple of exceptions towards the end of the run.
It's like you're just doing, I don't know, like you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, 100%. And from a kind of real person point of view, you're going, oh my God, I'm so tired. I don't want to be here. I just want to go home. And
Like
I'm
show number
so-
27, you must be a bit like,
Yeah, but actually, from a panto perspective, because you've got that making each other laugh, and different audiences bring different energy. So actually, when you're in the show, you don't really think, oh, this is show number,
because it's a new, yeah, exactly. I'm just like, I don't know. I said that, but then as soon as I'm saying it, I do magic for a living. December, I did a lot of gigs. Same tricks at every gig.
Yeah.
So it's a similar thing, and I wasn't bored.
No.
I've seen these tricks a million times. I've said the same thing a million times.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I vary up a bit, and back and forth with the spectators or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah,
having
and then
just asked that question, I've almost
yeah.
answered it myself. Like,
But
you
that's
don't get
why,
bored.
like, when people say, oh, you know, when things go wrong, it makes it better. It makes it better for us as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we had a couple of
Shakes it
times
up a
where
bit.
people fell over and we remember them very clearly because it strayed from the norm. Like,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
and we, as on stage, we would try and make each other laugh. You know, there was a point where I had to sing the giant to sleep at one point, and one show, the dame just went, "Should I do it? Yeah, I'll do it. Okay," and stood there whilst I was sat behind her singing, going, "Ah," whilst she's like pretending to sing, and we were just like, no, none of us discussed that. It just happened.
It just happened in the moment.
And you've like, that's the thing. You've got
Yeah,
to be
there's
open
a
and
certain
aware
freedom
to
to
all
it.
that kind of stuff.
I remember going to a panto as a kid, and the Chuckle Brothers were in it.
Oh,
Shout out to, well, I mean, send one up. One of them's not around anymore. Which is like, again, for the non-UK listeners, you might not know who the Chuckle Brothers are. Basically, comedy duo,
Amazing.
kids TV icons in the UK.
Icons.
They were in the show, and
That's
that
so
was like
cute.
kind of, you know, like the play that goes wrong.
Yep.
It was kind of, so there was stuff, obviously,
Oh
because of
my
their
God,
humour
yeah.
and their style of comedy. It was like stuff with, you know, the set collapsing
Yep.
and like seeing behind the scenes at the wrong
Yeah,
moment
yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. But
especially with panto.
well, yeah,
That's-
exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And they were obviously the highlight of it. But the highlight for me was that my dad got a cream pie in the face.
What?
Because one of them came down with a big, like, you know, shaving cream.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
paper
yeah, yeah,
plate.
yeah.
And he was asleep when they did it. My dad had fallen
No.
asleep. True story.
No.
He'd fallen asleep in the show on the aisle like this. And one of them came along, bam. He got covered in shaving cream. And that is like a core childhood memory for me. Was
That's amazing.
yeah. And I honestly don't even know if it was one of the Chuckle Brothers or like one of the extras or something. In my head, it was one of the Chuckle Brothers who just
Yeah,
did
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
It probably wasn't. I've just
Wow.
remembered it wrong.
That's
but
mental.
yeah.
See, we didn't have any cream pies in our panto.
No cream,
cream.
pies in a panto.
No. We
That's a
did in the one in
crime.
Stratford, but not in the one
Yeah, I was
that
going
I
to
was
say
in.
the one I saw. They were
Yeah.
flying about all over the place.
Yeah, because
Happened
I
about 5 or 6 times. I
Yep.
swear.
Yep. Last year it did, because then I had to come on and do a lovely little ballet number afterwards,
Oh,
and there was
yes.
cream everywhere.
Yes,
and so me
just
and the dancers were
covering,
basically
yeah.
just holding on to each other. There was a point
Skating
where
around.
I had to walk across the stage and I had 2 dancers like kind of holding me. They weren't like properly holding me up because, you know, I don't need it, whatever. But they had their arms on me and my heel went on a bit of cream and they literally saved me. They were like straight
Oh
there.
my God.
Nobody would have been able to tell. But ever since then, on that bit, I was just like squeezing onto them for dear life.
Gee, what is the worst thing that's happened to you on stage in terms of like something going wrong in anything, drama school, anything? What is the worst thing that's happened to you on stage?
That's
I
a
have an answer to
very,
this
very
it happened
good
to me
question.
in sixth form. While you think of yours, I'll
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
mine.
have a think. Go
I
on.
was in like my college's production of Les Mis.
Yeah.
I played Javert, and it was a banging production. Like the quality of it was insane. Which, fair enough, we were rehearsing like over the summer basically, so it was a big deal for me at the time. And night number 2, I am doing Javert. Spoiler for Les Mis. Javert kills himself. Sorry, if you've not seen Les Mis, well, there you go. I'm about to jump off this like
Yeah.
barricade structure,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
and it's quite high up. Like my head is like 10 feet off the ground.
Okay.
So I'm like 6 feet off the ground. No, wait, hold on. How tall does that make me? That makes me.
Jesus Christ.
That makes me 4 foot tall. Anyway, I'm bigger than 4 foot tall.
Short king.
Yeah, you can't tell because I'm crossing my legs.
You're actually tiny.
Yeah, so 4 foot tall Javert is stood on a 6 foot barricade. He's 10 feet in the air. And I jump off this thing at the end of my song. The lights like swing up so it looks like I'm falling for longer than I am. I land on the stage, and
Yeah.
that's not where I get hurt.
You
But-
get hurt?
No. I got hurt in this. This is not good.
Oh my
And
god.
it doesn't reflect too well on the school, but I didn't sue, and
I didn't sue.
I had a great time, and I still passed my A levels, so can't have
good.
been that bad. But I land on the floor, And then I was told, wait a few seconds until it's like full blackout and then get off the stage.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, getting off the stage in full blackout
Yeah.
is hard
Yeah.
because you cannot see a thing. I stand up and the like people who change the scenery around have already started to move this barricade for the next scene. And this is like juts of wood coming out all over the place, bits of metal. It's like a pretty well designed thing. It swings out as I'm standing up. I absolutely clobber my head, which is audible for the audience. I found out afterwards the audience heard the bang and were like, "Ooh, that couldn't have been good." I literally run to the side of the stage. I feel myself going. I'm like,
Really?
my vision is like tunneling. So I just run to the side of the stage, clutching my head. I'm like, probably, like, it's like blood. Like, it's not good. I like take my hat off because I'm wearing a hat as the character. Probably saved me getting even more
Yeah.
hurt. But literally, I'm like cut like this. People are flocking to me like, what the hell's happened? Because I'm on the floor at this point, holding my head. And I luckily, that was my last scene, obviously, because I've just killed myself. So I didn't have to go back on except for the curtain call. But I literally didn't go on for the curtain call because I was like, I'm in pain. And like, I don't think I can. So I just like literally died when my character died. It was not good. Yeah.
Oh my
That was my
God.
experience. Luckily, I was fine. I went on the next night and did better.
Blimey.
But it took some coordination because we had to re-rehearse the scene. Just like, make sure he's off the stage before you move the thing. Yeah.
God. Wow. Yeah, I've never had anything that bad happen. I don't know. It's hard because like there's something like that in every show
Yeah.
that I could pinpoint as like the worst thing that happened in the show.
In the show. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know which one takes the bacon. That's not the right phrase, is it? It takes the
Takes
biscuit.
the biscuit, takes the bit. What's the bacon?
I don't
Where's
know.
the bacon come from?
What is wrong with my brain
I
today?
don't know, but there is a phrase with bacon in it.
Wakey, wakey,
yeah,
eggs and
I-
bakey. I don't know.
Takes the biscuit.
Takes the biscuit. Anyway, I fell over in Panto, not last year, the year before. Someone had left a COVID swab. We did a joke about COVID because it was during COVID, so duh. But someone had left the COVID swab on
Too
the
soon.
stage. I was wearing heels. My heel caught the swab, and I literally just went. It was mid-song as well,
Oh.
which was not great. What else? Oh, I did Midsummer Night's Dream and I played one of the lovers. I played Lysander, but like a female version. We gender swapped it. And I fell asleep when I'd been, drugged or whatever at the end. And I was supposed to fall asleep with my arm out so that then Hermia could fall asleep next to me and then people could like jump over my arm. It was like a thing to give people something to jump over. Weird. Anyway, I fall asleep with my arm out. Florence, who is my best friend from uni, played Hermia, misjudged her sleep
Oh.
and basically fell asleep on my hand. Apart from my hand was completely in the wrong position, so it just bent my finger
Oh.
completely the wrong way. And I don't know if any of you know Midsummer Night's Dream, but the lovers stay asleep for a really
Yeah, I remember.
long time.
I saw this one as well. You were passed out for a long time on stage.
So I would say at least 20 minutes.
Oh.
At least 20 minutes. And I am lay there almost like labour breathing my way through it, going, okay, it's fine, just breathe. I
But
was
you've
in
got to
agony.
pretend to basically be dead. Like,
Yeah, I was like, just breathe, it's okay, you're fine. If it's broken, we'll move on. Like, it's okay. Just like properly whatever in through it. And obviously we wake up and we stand up and I'm supposed to be like super happy, and I was literally like, I run off stage. And luckily one of the other lovers, her muggle job, as I'm sure we've talked about in other episodes,
Muggle job, yeah.
is a doctor.
Oh, wow.
So she's doing well. But I literally ran up to her and I was
Wow.
like, I think I've broken my finger. What do I do? Like crying my eyes out because I was in so
oh my
much
God,
pain.
it was that bad.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It was fine. I hadn't broken it. I think it was just the fact it bent and I had to stay in that position for such a long time that my finger was like, what are you doing to me, girl?
Oh, Wow.
Anyway, yeah. So that was probably
the
the
highs
most.
and lows of pretending to be dead on stage.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I did Midsummer Night's Dream again, summer of 2023, and I played Titania this time, and we did an outdoor version of it. And
I remember
we-
seeing it. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
seeing that you did
we'd
that.
kind of come to the conclusion that we wanted the fairies to be quite grungy and like punky. So me and Oberon and Puck were all
Those
in.
are all characters, by the way. You
Yeah,
just want to
sorry,
clarify.
they're
You
all
don't
characters.
have you don't have friends with really cool names.
No, unfortunately not.
Obi to his friends.
We were all in skinny jeans, black skinny jeans. Puck was in like a leather. I don't know how you would describe it. It's like a waistcoat but longer.
Oh.
And then Oberon was in a leather jacket. I, because I like to make life really hard for myself, was in a long sleeve black top with a black corset on over the top of that, and then a long flowy like camisole.
Did you get to
flirty
choose
thing.
your costume?
Yeah.
And you went with that?
Yeah, and long knee high black boots.
Is this what you wear when I'm not around?
Yes. Because we were
Actually,
going
for the
grungy.
people who
It
are
was-
just on audio, Abby's actually wearing that right now. So come over to the visuals.
Surprise. I could include a picture of me in this
it's
costume.
on screen. Yeah,
Um,
include a picture of me as Javert as well.
showed me as Lysander as well.
Yeah.
It's a product.
Here's my entire
Product
camera roll
placement.
on screen right now.
Product placement. I just said like we are the product. Product placement.
Product placement, selling us. What?
Wait a minute. It was the hottest summer,
Yeah, I was gonna
Of-
say.
ever.
I remember it well.
and it was
That was the
absolutely
one where it was like
horrific.
40 degrees.
Yeah, and so
one day.
Titania falls asleep halfway through the show, doesn't she? So
You
I'm
must have been
lay
sweating.
outside in loads of pillows
Oh my
in
God.
the direct sunlight, feeling like I'm about to pass out. And then I've got to stand up and immediately go into a scene once I wake up.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. It got to the point where we changed it so that me and Puck would both, instead of be wearing jeans, we would wear shorts instead on the really
Yep,
hot days. Because when we were
that
doing
seems
matinees,
sensible.
it was like midday sun
Oh my god, yeah.
and it was blisteringly
Do you
hot.
remember that day when it was 40 degrees? I don't know where you were or what it was, but that's
This year or last year?
like
Because last year I was having my headshots taken,
Oh.
literally melting. I had my feet in a bucket of ice.
Mm.
It was so hot. This year, I was doing a show.
Oh yeah.
I was in the show.
Oh my god.
Ironically,
I didn't
doing
go
Midsummer Night's
outside
Dreams
that day.
both.
I didn't go outside. I literally could not
Yeah.
go. I went outside for about 5 minutes thinking, this will be nice. I'll sit in the garden. Had a garden at the time. Doing quite well. Actually, no,
All right.
it was cheaper than my current flat, so I wasn't doing very well. I didn't have a job at the time. So that spiraled out of control.
Unemployed, but had a garden. so
Unemployed
woo.
with a garden. It was great. So I was unemployed in my garden. And I thought, I'll just sit on this chair.
Yeah.
It'll be great. Like, really, really hot. I like that. 5 minutes later, I was like, I need to go inside. This is
Literally.
I'm actually going to boil.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's not good. Yeah,
Not
I
good.
hate that sort of
I'm
heat
sure-
so much.
When was it?
I'm thinking of the recent summer just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you remember which month it was in? I know that sounds really.
July?
Yeah, so I would have been in
Yeah,
a show.
I think
Yeah.
it was July.
Yeah, I would have been in a show. It was just like, it was fine. We just got on with it. Like, it's one of those things where you just go, okay, we're gonna want to pass out today, but just keep going, drink lots of water, carry on.
Acting outdoors. What was the decision there?
It was a place in Birmingham called Lightwood's House, and they have a garden which they call the Shakespeare Garden. And they basically said, hello, do you want to come and do a Shakespeare in the garden? It was directed by the head of my drama school course. It wasn't linked to my drama school. It
Oh,
was,
just
but it
like
wasn't. Like, we weren't marked on it
coincidence.
or anything. It was a professional gig, but she was directing it and basically chose from the pool of actors
Well,
that she had.
Yeah. Go
Obviously.
with who you know. May
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
And it was really, really fun actually. It was in a bit of our course when we wouldn't really have had anything to do. It kind of bridged the gap between finishing our final show and like showcase and all that kind of stuff. to graduation.
Right.
It kind of
yeah.
bridged that gap, not the whole gap, obviously.
I would love to do a pantomime. I know it sounds so strange, but like I follow obviously a lot of magicians, and I see a lot of magicians doing pantomime
Yeah.
because it's like part of the show, whether they're the Buttons character or whatever.
Yes.
They
yeah.
do a bit of magic in the middle of the show. It's like that is a good gig because you've got like you say 30 shows.
Yeah.
December you're all booked out,
Yeah.
and you just do magic, but also act because I quite like acting.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Yeah. It's really, really fun. And it's you become like a little family.
Yeah.
Like with whatever cast you've got going. I mean, we all lived in a house together. The whole cast, apart from the Dame, all had a house together because we're all kind of from different areas of the country.
Brought together.
Yeah. And
by
it was
Panto.
it was fab. It was really, really nice, and it became like a little second family to a certain extent.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah, it was lovely. We just got really drunk all the time and played loads of games, basically.
Sounds like
But
fun.
that would be we just fell into a routine, you know. We'd get home, you know, finish a show, go to the pub, go home, cook dinner, eat dinner around midnight, drink, play a few games,
Well,
go to bed about 4
I'm
a.m.
friends with you,
get up at 11 the next day,
I experienced
do
this.
a show at 2:30.
I experienced this in like the cast house
Yeah.
after I
Yeah.
went to see that panto because obviously I was there to see Abby. I wasn't just going to leave like the rest of the rest of the punters, like the rest of the riffraff that they got in. I stuck around after the shows. I'm cool like that. Mingled with the cast. Honestly, as an audience member, you feel so cool waiting until all the audience have gone
Yeah.
for the cast to then emerge. It's like, yeah, I'm in the in crowd. I am in here.
Yeah.
Even though I have nothing to do with the show, I feel like I'm part of it for one night. It was.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed that with like
Oh yeah.
like coming back to wherever you were with like the rest of the cast. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. A group of actors is always like a fun. There's always a fun vibe to it.
Just because we're nuts. We're just nuts.
I think
So-
the listeners have gathered that
Yeah.
from.
Woo! We're nuts, TM.
Oh God, I'm trying to think what I've been doing. I was
Oh my
just
gosh,
looking at
I've
my
just chatted
calendar.
about
No, it's
myself
all right.
for
I have a feeling the word pantomime
45 minutes.
might be in the title of this episode.
Pantomime.
Well, that's the thing. We don't plan it, but then we
No.
always end up having a topic.
Yeah.
And that topic is often drama or panto.
I'm so sorry.
So far, anyway.
Our topic is
Um,
normally governed by the fact that Abby can't shut the fuck up.
I mean, on a podcast, that's quite good.
Yeah, true. Of all the people to do a podcast.
I got a comment on one of my YouTube videos not too long ago that was like, "Can you stop talking, please?" It's like, what else?
No
am I
one
meant-
is forcing
what else
you
am I
to
meant
watch
to
this
do?
video.
The video is me talking about a thing. What do I mime it? What am I meant to do? If
Also-
I don't talk. Just
Like,
click off the video. if
yeah.
you-
Close your goddamn laptop. Like, it's
yeah.
really not that
I
hard.
don't understand that. I don't understand that.
I don't feel that. I really don't see why other people feel the need to shit on other people. Like, I just don't get it. What? I
And
don't
that
get
goes
it.
to you too, user dash
Hey,
LLCH497.
they weren't shitting on us. They were just, you know,
They were, yeah.
not understanding the entire concept
They were
of this whole
shipping
podcast.
on us.
We.
No, but honestly, I'm looking at my calendar right now. It's just gig. Went to the Trafford Centre, gig.
Traffy C.
I went to a Taylor Swift clubbing night, so that was one of the highlights of my month.
Are you a Swiftie?
Oh, I'm a bit of a Swiftie.
Are you?
Yeah, I wasn't. And then my girlfriend has got me into Taylor Swift because
okay.
she is like a...
You're like a Swiftie by proxy.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Got you.
To begin with, I was like... my knowledge
Her
of Taylor
music is
Swift...
good. I like her. I'm not
it
a
was like
Swiftie,
surface
but...
level. I only knew like Bad Blood and
Yeah,
Shake It
yeah,
Off
yeah.
and I can't even name another big
Yeah.
but like all the big ones. But then you get into it, your girlfriend's like, no, listen to some of the mid-album tracks, and suddenly I'm big into my Taylor Swift. So I went to a Taylor Swift club. Actually, not the first one I've been to either.
Was it good? Did you have fun?
It was good. I've been to another one before that a couple of years ago, and great time.
Yeah.
Great time.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Saw some people that I know and that you will know as well, who probably won't mind being mentioned. Rachel from our school, but like year above, couple of years above. like we were just next to her in the queue, and so I was like, oh, hey. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It was a very much catching up episode. Because, like we said at the
Yeah.
beginning, it's been
Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to
weeks.
see you.
It's good to see
it's
you
good
too.
to see
It's
you.
good to see you too.
But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Thank
However you're
you.
consuming this, you can watch, by the way, full video on Spotify.
Yes, you can.
Which I didn't know. We didn't know
Nope, no
when we
idea.
recorded the first few, so we can.
So basically,
what a great sentence.
if you don't want to just live the audio life and you want to see our beautiful faces, you can.
Yeah, head over to Spotify. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, maybe try and watch the next one on Spotify because the numbers aren't as good on Spotify. I'll just say that.
Cheeky's 5-star review.
yeah,
if
but-
you do so fancy.
Oh yeah, subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us on Spotify.
It doesn't
5-star,
even have to
all
be
those things.
5-star.
Go on a
Any
little,
review.
Go on a little purely platonic
Even if you think it's vaguely
speed
average, 3-star would be acceptable.
Run. No, I will not accept that. 5 stars only. But yeah, that is it for this episode.
Amazing.
Make sure to go and follow us on TikTok as well.
Yeah,
I've just
and
remembered because
Instagram and all of that
you know how many
loveliness.
followers we have on TikTok?
About 4, probably.
No, 2. It's us 2.
Oh, Lord.
So-
Okay, even less than that.
That's
Marvellous.
at the time of recording. Hopefully it's more by the
We're
time
doing
this goes out.
so well.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching.
And see you again next Monday.
Oh, it's a consistent schedule.
Oh,
Consistency.
we love a bit of consistency.
I love it. How long
love
before
it.
this is broken, do you reckon?
Never. Ever.
Do you think we can do 52 weeks in
Yeah.
a row?
I think
Do you
we can.
actually think we should?
Yeah.
What's like the, not forfeit, the prize if we do it?
We could retry. This doesn't have to be on pod. We could retry and do our truth or drink.
Oh my God. Just quickly about Truth or Drink. Before the podcast existed, this is a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Is it a couple of years ago? It must be by
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I think.
We went through a phase of like making YouTube content.
Yeah.
And we did quite a few.
Pretty decent content.
Pretty-
might I
yeah,
add.
it's all gone now. But
Oh.
it was,
doesn't exist
It
anymore.
was pretty decent. If you're watching on YouTube, then the channel you're currently watching was where that content was.
No way, I never knew that.
Yeah, I just repurposed the channel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
to
ace.
keep the viewer base. I
Gotta
may as
do it.
well. So,
Love that.
so yeah, that content's gone. But we
Oh,
tried
we
filming
did try and do a
a
truth, or drink.
and it was
It was hilarious because we
disastrous.
just
I'd
kind of
say.
forgot that we were filming, didn't we?
Yeah.
And just got really quite drunk.
More than we
Weren't really
expected.
doing truth or drink because, like we established really early on, truth questions don't really work for me and Kevin because we already freaking know everything
So we
about
were just
each other.
doing truth and
So we were-
drink. yeah.
Truth and drink. And we were just asking each other really random questions. Can I please?
No, no. Thanks for listening.
Please,
Goodbye.
No. So one of them was
No,
if
no,
you
it's
could-
already over.
No, it's
Episode's
not.
already
No,
over.
it's not. One of them is if you could date a famous person,
No.
who would you choose?
Why are we doing
Right?
this?
And so I asked that question,
No.
and Kevin, dead seriously, just goes, Jeff Bezos.
Because if we're gonna keep this in the episode, my logic was not that I find Jeff Bezos attractive or that I like him in any way. It's just if you could pick any famous person to date, you want to see how billionaires live. I am right. My logic
I
makes
could understand the
sense.
logic, but when I was drunk, I could not. And I've got a video, I think, somewhere
Yes.
of me going, Kevin just said he'd date Jeff Bezos.
Because he's a billionaire, and I think it's interesting. How
Oh
do
my
do
God.
they live?
It
What do
was
they
so
do?
funny.
What do billionaires do day
I
to
can
day?
completely understand your logic,
So if I could pick anyone,
but
I'm not going to go for someone that I find attractive. I'm going to go for Jeff Bezos. You heard it here first.
anyway.
We did the outro about 5 minutes ago, so thanks for
We did.
listening.
Thank
and,
you so
We'll
much.
see you next Monday.
See you
for
next
more,
Monday.
For more of whatever this is.
Toodles!
Bye.